Hi, we're Group 37, and my name is Michael Lee.
My name is Yunghyuk Joshua.
I'm Surya Tanakala.
I'm Caden Hicks.
And the game we decided to go with was the Liar's Dice game. And we were inspired by the Pirates of the Caribbean film with the scene with the Liar's Dice, as you'll see in our game. That's good.
Okay, so to start off with our project, first we brainstormed games. We went through 3, Pig, Blackjack, before eventually deciding on Liar's Dice. And after knowing that we wanted to do Liar's Dice, we had to select deadlines for the project because we had to keep it in an orderly fashion. And then we had to allocate roles between the 4 of us to figure out who's working on what. After that, through MATLAB App Designer, we had to figure out the layout and design of our game, and the features that we wanted to incorporate were a table to keep score and the bet, which player bet what. And then we had buttons to roll the dice and a button to actually choose your bet. And after that, we have a refresh bet button to update the table as the game goes on. Finally, we needed to add ThinkSpeak to the project, so we added 4 fields which would collect the data for the bets and relay them between 2 computers.
Alright, so right now we're going to display the functionality of our ThinkSpeak between 2 devices where they're both running the app. So if we go click close, and go with our roll dice, audio will play, and then we select the bet. Now ideally when you're playing you wouldn't see each other's bets, but let's say this person selects a 3 and goes with a 1, places initial bet, and then this person goes with a 3 and presses 2 as initial bet. You will notice that when you refresh the bets that the info on the table here will change and the info on their table will change as well. Now, the issue that happens with our ThinkSpeak is, could you please change to the channel page?
Of course.
The issue is that our computers both believe they are player 1, which overwrites the player 1 value being read in the field 1 table. So ThinkSpeak is being communicated, but our implementation is being flawed currently with which one's player 1 and which one's player 2. But the game itself is still working, as you'll see in your next clip.
Just a short segment reiterating the game rules. The game rules are automatically displayed when opening the app, but for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to explain it. First, a player hits the roll dice button, to which then an audio plays, and the dice down here are randomized. And an initial bet window is first opened up, and based off of my board, I have 2 2s, and using my deduction skills, I would want to take the bet that player 2 has at least 1 2, so I can select the 2-face die over here, and then I can put in 3, and I hit place initial bet. After placing my initial bet, a table appears, to which then one has to hit refresh bets to show that player 1 bet that there are 3 2-face dice. And then player 2 on their side, once this information gets relayed, hits view bet options, and then they can either guess that there are more than 3 2-face dice, or they may guess that there are a higher quantity of a different face dice. For example, they can guess that there are 3 3s or there are 3 4s. Once they use their own deduction skills to either place a bet, they can also hit challenge bet, to which then the results are checked. If player 1 guessed that there are 3 2-face dice and there are not 3 2-face dice between the 10 dice that were rolled, then it will say that player 2 won and player 1 lost.
Now I'd like to take a minute to show the table function that we encoded. So after you roll the dice, you are prompted with this screen where we have 6 buttons to choose the type of face that we're betting on, and this input box where we input the amount of that face. So 5 5s will be placed, and refreshing the bet will appear in this box here. For each one of these 6 faces that appear, we have buttons that are linked to the images. So every image is assigned to 1 value, and that value combined with the value in the quantity box will be sent to this file, Liar's Dice, in our main file and update the table. That table is a Excel sheet, which will be run, which is embedded in the program. As you can see here, it updates and it stores the information of the player's bets, and gets loaded, or the data gets sent to the data sheet right here, under player 1, under the player 1 tab. And when we hit the refresh button on the app, it updates that box, which is done through this code down here, which simply reads the table whenever the refresh bets button is pressed. Now, when you bet a second time, you do it through view bet options, which has the same 6 buttons, which are actually different and are in the second array of buttons, each assigned to the same values. And when that button is pressed, it will basically do the same. It will overwrite and clear the data that was in the table before from the previous bet and update with the new bet value, which will go right into the Excel spreadsheet, which is then read off when you refresh the bet and sent to the other player via ThinkSpeak.
This is Jeff Yong-Hyuk I will explain my work. I charge of the ThinkSpeak part, and here is a code, and we can see there's a API key, and each channel has code, and we expected there's channel status, and then there's channel setting. Field 1 we put it the game pace, and field 2 there's current player, and then field 3 the current bet, and then field 4 is face value. Also, we can cover next parts, which shows like the print value on here. If ThinkSpeak fail to update the status, I'll just make automatically print the fail update on here. And next, and on here, the player gonna be display, which player gonna be display who won, and the result in here gonna display as well. Yeah, that's all my work.
And something I worked on this project is the rolled dice button. The rolled dice button is what essentially rolls the dice, as it is in the name. It uses the Randy function to roll 6 dice, and each dice face is corresponded to an image for that die face, and the program pulls those image faces from the main zip file, and the cases down here is what changes each die to that die face image. So if I were to roll a 1, it would pull the image for die face 1 through the cases, etc., etc.
And I'm going to be going over my contribution to this project. So one of the things I did was the sound portion of this file, where if you run the code, or the app, sorry, once it runs, you go to this page with that information, close, and roll dice. That's the audio that I played. Now, one of the first difficulties we experienced was that the original song file is around 7 seconds long, and would continually play that dice rolling sound for the full 7 seconds. So I thought that instead of having that headache take place, we would instead shorten it to 1 dice length, which is seen here with this Y sound and sample frequency function, where it reads the file, we paste it into here, and then this sets the duration that we did after trial and error. We found that our dice roll is around 1.5 to 1.55 seconds long, as we found here. And then this component keeps the length that we wanted from trial and error, and then displays it as sound, which is what we hear playing. And yeah, thank you.